Alrighty, what is up, guys? Welcome back. Evan Aldo here. Appreciate you guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe if you're new because we're going to get into some really amazing TA right now. And yeah, let's get into it. Bitcoin, Ethereum. I want to talk about maybe Cardano a little bit. Bitcoin dominance as well. Been a really boring day for crypto today. We've just been sideways, basically at high 27s, low 28s. Really more boring day than usual, obviously. And if you look at the larger time frames, as kind of what I've been talking about, in the live stream this morning or yesterday, bearish divs. This one now confirmed on the three-day, pretty decent bearish div confirmed as you're hitting the spiral end pocket. Obviously big psychological area just below 30K. We're coming into the holiday weekend. I'm not expecting anything too crazy to happen probably until Monday, Tuesday. But it does kind of look like you're headed for you're getting, unless we're able to pump up to 40K, which I do think is possible. But the case for 40K is obviously on the weekly, with these, look at the RSIs, how they were here, trend reversal, then green dot, and then you came up farther. That would be the case for 40K, which it definitely is possible. I feel like this is going to break kind of at some point. But man, that was a tease back there because you got that red dot, and then you just came up higher, and then when you were coming into that green, that was kind of when it was all done. So that was a rough, that was probably a rough kind of trading area back in 2019 there. But that's the case for 40K. History never repeats exactly, and it's repeated a lot so far. So I'm kind of in the camp that you would kind of at least come down to 25 or so, retest at 200 before you are able to continue forward. And what these time frames, these higher time frames would tell you is that is pretty likely here. Now, if we get into some of the lower ones here, like the 12-hour, the 16-hour, and by the way, we'll talk about it on the combined with this too, because you may get a trigger wave. You get a trigger wave on the downside, then you're sideways. You're going to get a trigger wave on the upside here. Combined with that, combined with some of this coming up, this VWAP coming up as well, on the 10-hour, the 12-hour. Money flow looks pretty good on the 12-hour too. Combined with those, I do think, and you're going to get about a green dot on the 6-hour pretty soon. Combined with those, I think in the short term you might be able to come up to 28.3, kind of that area. And we could let's just draw a local fib level here, and let's see where we could end up. So top of that area, 28.2, that kind of area. I think maybe you could even get up to 28.5, kind of these particular areas, 23, 25, name every single number, but it does seem like in the short term you could potentially come up. Into the weekend, I think there's going to be a lot of like weird sideways volatility, some consolidation. The other thing too is, the main two things I think that are gonna potentially happen here is, and this looks pretty good for the bullish case too, the money flow kind of coming up in the 22-minute to 15-minute. Now, to get to what I think is one of the two things is going to happen. Now, the one thing that'll happen is we just get a pullback. The whole market gets a pullback. Bitcoin dominance, just comes up as alts continue to bleed against Bitcoin. This 10-hour would be kind of indicative of that. Look at these split RSIs curving up, green dot confirmed. That would be kind of the case for we just get a pullback. We just get a pullback, and this pumps up above to 49%, 50%. I think if we come down to 25K, everything comes down, all it's bleed against Bitcoin. That's what you'll see. The other option, though, is this comes down further. Let's say this comes down a bit further. We come down 46, 45%. And you see that's where you could see a potential mini altcoin season. And Bitcoin would be potentially more sideways during that phase. Maybe you could see Bitcoin, generally kind of sideways until, you could even repeat that, sideways until towards the end of this month, not too much, obviously, not too much happening. And then some of that money, some of that boredom goes into ETH, some of that boredom goes into Cardano, and some other altcoins bring us higher. Now, we don't know what's going to happen. I think if that happens, it's going to be more of a sell in May, walk away type thing. I also think, there's the least likely scenario, I think, is that Bitcoin dominance continues to rise while we continue to see a Bitcoin dominant rally where Bitcoin goes up to 40K. I'm kind of not thinking that's going to happen just based on these charts, but who knows? Anything is possible, obviously. But in terms of what I'm looking at, I am in the Discord. If you guys are interested in my exclusive Discord, I am in a long right now that I think is going to do pretty well. I'm in a swing short kind of as well. I'm in some swing shorts on some alts as well. Been doing pretty good there lately. If you want to see some of the previous trades, there are some in the YouTube shorts. Check out my YouTube shorts All the cool kids are doing TikTok and YouTube Shorts. You got to keep up with the cool cats. So check that out. The link is down in the description below. Is for the Discord if you are interested. We're gonna start a new I'm gonna start a new kind of coffee chat. Not coffee chat, but a live kind of voice chat with you guys on there. Gonna try to do it I don't know, 2 or 3 times a week at a time that's good for the most people on there. So check out the Discord if you're interested. We have a good community. A lot of really good trades in there. Not right 100% of the time, obviously, but I do think it can benefit you, definitely, if you're interested. So check that out. And let's get into ETH here. So thing here, like the hourly, this is kind of coming up. You do have I believe, is this a bullish div? Not necessarily a bullish div, but there are some signs on the lower time frames here, money flow coming up that we could come up a little bit in the short term. I don't know if you're going to get all the way up to 1895 here, but I think there's a little bit of a possibility. 4-hour VWAP coming up, 5-hour VWAP coming up, all of these type of things. And I think there's a shot here. Now, could this have been the top? Absolutely. That's a pretty big wick up, and then you just came down. That could absolutely be the top. ETH doesn't have the bearish divs that Bitcoin has, so this would be indicative of potentially a little bit of an altcoin season where ETH kind of steals the show, maybe retests kind of this area, makes a new high, maybe gets up to 2,000, something of that nature. I think that's possible. And then I would be surprised if this next bearish div here doesn't bring you down to at least 17 or more. I would be surprised if this next bearish div doesn't, because if you look at this one, look at what happened right here, right? Pretty big drop down. So that's what we're looking at there. Also, money flow on the weekly here was not what you needed. Right there. Here was pretty good. You came up higher here, and then you had the pandemic for that double bottom there, and then you came up a lot higher. But right there was not what you needed. In terms of RSIs, though, it does seem like if it's like this, you could ride up a bit more in the next. That was from May to in the next month or two, ride up a bit more. It would probably be, I think if we do see a more of a ride up, it'll be more of a bullish April, and then it's going to be kind of a sell in May. We just don't know how bad the May sell off would be. I do think most likely we'll see some type of summer lull. That's just my opinion right now. And I do think the summer lull is going to be probably the best place in terms of a long-term perspective, the best place to get in. And I think, we shouldn't ignore, technicals aren't always going to be right, but we shouldn't ignore how this 12-day looks. This VWAP coming down, money flow coming down, that does not look good. That could bring us, back down to 1100 or something. That could form somewhat of a double bottom here. I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, but that could bring you down to those numbers I've talked about in the past, 600 potentially. The fundamentals are pretty good for ETH. It doesn't seem based on the fundamentals like that could happen, but approaching, say we get into a bad recession, say there's bad regulatory FUD, we don't need to know exactly what's going to happen here to make money. We just need a strategy. And my strategy here is wait till this gets into the red, then DCA in for about 10 months. That's my strategy for ETH. I'm already DCAing in on Bitcoin earlier based on kind of the 2-week time frame already in the red here. So that's what I'm looking at there. If you want to look at Cardano, some of these alts have really, people have been getting excited about this, but it's really not, in terms of it did not get above this February high yet, so kind of lagging behind. Split RSI is coming down. I don't know if you're going to see that altcoin season. This could be it. The weekly, you do have that green dot that did confirm. There are some, things that do look kind of good. You got the monthly deep green dot there. This one back here was in April was obviously a really good buyback there. So maybe it'll play out like that, and we just go crazy. I know there's people talking about bull run, all that type of stuff, but I don't think we're there quite yet. I think in terms of DCAing into this, I'm curious about the 12-day on this. So you're deep in the red right there. I think in terms of altcoins, though, my main strategy, wait till Bitcoin dominance gets above gets above 50%, gets to potentially these areas. And, because look, this was the best time to get in alts. Back here, this DCA period, this was from September to January. So that was a good, October, November, December, good 4 months, good 4-month kind of DCA period to get into alts. So even if you got into here, not the worst place, but this could ride, man. This could ride. I know there's people, People talk about this area too. Not too many people talk about 70%, but I think this would end up, this could get up to 55%. It wouldn't be that difficult for this to get up to 55%, especially with stablecoin FUD, with regulatory FUD. There's a lot that could bring this up higher here. But once we get to those areas, potentially in the summer, that's going to be prime real estate for altcoins. That's like potential, not financial advice, but potential life-changing wealth for altcoins. We all know, even if Bitcoin goes up to say 200 grand in the next bull run, I mean, a 10x is nice, or that would be less than a 10x from now, but that would be nice, but that's not a 50x. That's not a 100x. That some of these altcoins may have potential to do, such as Chainlink, such as Cosmos, such as AVAX, maybe even Polkadot. So that's what we got to look at there. In terms of another, good thing other than crypto, gold has just been killing it. Looks like we're going to get to that all-time high. It could be a triple top pattern where we have a pullback pretty soon, but I think the next 3 to 5 years is going to be pretty good for this. You have a technical target up here at 3,500. This is kind of my estimate of what you may see in the next couple of years, potentially coming up to 3,000 into 2025 potentially. So that'll be a lot of fun. If you don't want the volatility and the volatility of Bitcoin, ETH, or crypto, gold is a really safe bet right now. Not financial advice. Obviously, anything could happen, but that's what I'm looking at right now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, check out the Discord down below, check out the exchanges down below as well. I think I forgot to mention, if you sign up to any exchanges down below and deposit at least $100, I'll give you 1 free month of my exclusive Discord. So check that out. I also do have a really good beginner trading course down below. Discount code BEARMARKET20, 20% off. It's on evanaldo.com, so check that out. All right, guys, hope you have a good one. Goodbye.